Video 11. Unconsidered mechanism number 3. The sneaking economic reason. As money becomes the measure of ever more, it increasingly governs our actions. Therefore, giving the drug lords an increase in profit is not a good idea. The sneaking economic reason refers to a consequence of the obvious fact that money is becoming the measure of ever more, that our want for money increasingly makes us do things that we would not have done hadn't this economic reason sort of sneaked up on us. The sneaking economic reason law reads: whenever there is an economic reason for something to happen, the probability of this something actually happening increasingly, 1, increases in proportion to the strength of the economic reason for it to happen, and 2, decreases in proportion to the economic reason for it not to happen. It is quite possible that most users take to drugs more or less on their own accord. However, some new customers enter because convinced, pressurized, or even forced. With drugs no longer illegal and thus no longer very profitable, there would be much less economic reason to turn non-users into users, and thus a very strong cause for the perpetuation of the drug problem would be dealt a severe blow. This, though maybe somewhat indirect and not all that obvious, is a very strong argument against the proposition that consumption would increase with legalization. Because with much more profit to be had from making Bob take drugs, even if I cannot in detail outline how, Bob becomes much more likely to take drugs. This sneaking economic reason stuff might be a bit abstract, so let me stick my neck out and give you a real-life prediction derived from it. I claim that real estate lords, at least sometimes, are in cahoots with the drug racket. That the racket, for sneaking economic reasons, sometimes set up shop wherever and whenever the cooperating real estate lords want lower prices, and move out whenever the same lords want to create a boom. As a drug dealing organization decides where to set up shop next, they also decide where property values are to plummet next, and indirectly where property values are to boom. Those with the power to decide on the location of drug outlets are thus ideal partners to real estate lords. This is a fact and a connection that I believe has not been observed. But since the economic reasons for drug and real estate lords to cooperate are very strong, and since the economic reasons that keep them from cooperating are very weak, the only possible reason for why the phenomenon has not been observed must be that nobody has looked for it. It might not be a new planet or elementary particle that I am predicting, but it is something presently, I believe, unobserved, and with that bold prediction, the first part of my video series ends. Thank you so much for having watched it. Next, in video 12, I shall outline how I will go about presenting the second part of my 3 arguments against drug illegality, how I will go about suggesting that drug illegality causes more harms than drug use itself.